Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are doing the first of the Scavengers in our little mini Biome monster series. So first off, real quick, I'm gonna plug it. If you guys are a fan of monster mashes and like the creatures that I make here, I do have a line of merch. The Teespring is down in the description below. There's also a little bar of shirts under the video. I figured out what it's called, like a shelf. I don't know what it's called on YouTube, but I got a lot of different Creature Crew shirts. I also have stickers over on my website and my Etsy, so all of those things are down in the description below. So let's continue our new monsters for my Monster Mash series, and today we're doing the Scavenger, like I said, and you guys had a lot of awesome comments. I'm gonna highlight a couple here of really cool ideas and creatures we could use. So from your guys' comments and from a little bit of brainstorming, I kind of figured out which creatures I wanted to use from our world to make this first Scavenger. To start off, we have the bearded vulture. I love these things. They look so crazy cool. And then there's a lot of different color options that come with this animal. We could do like these whitish colors, the reds, the oranges, lots of really cool variety with these animals. And then one of the things that I was thinking of when I was looking through the comments is a couple people mentioned a snake, and instantly my brain thought of, when I saw these reds and oranges, I thought of those snakes that have really intense red scales that look very spiny and spiky, and I found out that that is the bush viper. I absolutely adore these snakes. I think they look so cool, especially with all these extra spines, and their scales are just so well defined. Like whenever I think of dragon scales, this is kind of what I picture in my brain, is these really cool, sharp, pointy scales. So we're gonna go with the bearded vulture and the bush viper, and I was really wanting another aspect to it. I liked the idea of adding some color from another creature, and I was like, all the other creatures have had some type of marine inspiration as well. In the first couple episodes, I was saying that each of these I wanted to have a reptile inspiration, but I was like, we got the reptile and we got another primary animal, but I noticed that everything also has some type of marine inspiration. So for the final animal, I decided to go with a piranha. I thought these would be really cool, both because we get a lot of cool shimmering scales, some very cool and interesting colors that would complement very well with the other colors of the other animals, and then some really cool gnarly teeth. I was thinking it'd be really cool, depending on which face we choose and what structure we pick, to have the piranha teeth within the creature. One of the comments that I got was saying that if it had like the viper aspect, it could lash out and grab onto bits of meat or prey, maybe do a flyby and like shoot its head out like a really quick viper strike and rip some prey away. And I think having those piranha teeth would help get in there, like grab it and shred it off of whatever carcass it's going for. So with these animals in mind, I'm gonna jump in and do a couple of rough sketches and figure out where we want to go with this, but I'm really digging how this is looking, and I love this combo so far. So let's jump in and get those sketches going. So for this first part of the drafting phase, I knew that I really wanted to kind of highlight the vulture overall. I just really like the body proportions, and I was saying that I did want like a bird scavenger first and foremost. So that's where I started off, at least with these initial sketches, was drafting out how I wanted the vulture body to work with the other aspects of the other creatures. So like I said, I wanted to highlight those viper scales, get some cool teeth from the piranha, and then I was like, we should incorporate some more from the piranha, like the fin, or like maybe make the tail of the vulture kind of more fin-like in general. So that's kind of where I was going with the initial idea here. And I wanted to do an up-close shot of the face just so I could kind of plan out how the scales versus the feathers were segmented, as well as maybe draft up some couple of color options. I really wanted to highlight those oranges, reds, and yellows, and I was like, let's just do a little color study of the face so I can figure out where I want to put like viper scale coloring versus piranha coloring versus vulture coloring. Since there's a lot of different colors and textures that were going into this one, I wanted to make sure to nail it before we got into the final render of this piece. Okay, we are all done with the sketch, and I did a little bit of like color blocking as well to kind of get in my brain exactly how I wanted these colors to be laid out and exactly what parts of the different creatures would be present in this design. So I had to do like the cool flying vulture body. I just thought that'd be really cool. And then I added some like fins that could be from the piranha to maybe make this another creature that might be agile in water. And then the bearded vulture, it already has those feathers that are very separated. Like you can tell they just had like very distinct chunks. And so I thought that would mesh well with the viper scales. So I was thinking we could have some of the viper scales running down the side of the neck, having some up by the beak and up like along the eyes. I thought that would look really cool. I wanted to add like a cool fin as well to the face. And so I was thinking this could be another way that they could maybe breathe underwater. Like this could be a gill that is used where they could breathe underwater. I would see these being primarily land creatures, but in a pinch, I think they could also have some type of apparatus that they could breathe underwater with. So I included this one scale here. I don't know how scientifically accurate having a gill like this would be on a creature. I don't know how well it would work, let alone if it would work at all, but I kind of like the idea of it, and I think it adds just another cool design element and a layer to how this creature would just exist in general. All right, so we got the sketches done and out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and do the final pose that we will have in the bigger lineup of all these creatures, and then some more exploratory sketches and coloring in this sketch as well. I really want to flesh this one out and show some cool different aspects of it. Like I said earlier, like with the lashing out neck, I want to make sure to show that. And yeah, let's jump in and get the final page of this done. So time to jump into the final render of this creature. So just like I did for the last one, I brought in the main apex predator to be my baseline for sizing. I just copied and pasted it from the other Photoshop file, left it at scale, and then from there I sketched out the size of this creature and started building it from there. I'm just trying to make sure that they all both have the same line depth quality, or line, not depth, width, what do you call it? Line weight, there we go. That they all had the same line weight qualities, so they all would look well together in a final piece. And then just sizing. I want to make sure that they all are the correct size that I am imagining for all of these. So I think I upped the size of this creature compared to an actual vulture, if I remember correctly. I know there's some vultures that get really big, but I can't remember if a bearded vulture is physically this large. I could be totally wrong because I've never experienced a bearded vulture in person. I've seen a couple at like Ren fairs or at the zoo, but I think the main ones that I've seen are like the king vulture and some of the really big ones. But yeah, I can't say I've seen a bearded vulture up close, so I kind of was guesstimating size. So either this is too big or too small or maybe just right. So I started like basically putting in the colors, and I think this is probably the most colored detail one so far. I really went ham on layering and adding all these different colors and little details throughout the whole thing. I just got lost in this one. I just got really, really passionate about this creature in general. I think I was just really vibing with the bearded vulture look, plus the scales. It just gave me kind of like almost like a dragon vibe to it, you know? It's just like a really cool, like flying reptile dragon creature in a way, even though it's not a dragon, but I think that's one reason why I super connected to it. And so I really wanted to layer up all of these different textures and the spotting and patterning from like the piranha and the viper, and I love how that final render looked. And then I really liked the initial sketch that I made during the planning phase, and I'm like, that will work great for showing it on my multi-sketch sheet, just showing, hey, this is what it looks like on its own, like just standing there. And then I was like, I gotta show the neck, because I was planning on showing how it would lash out kind of like a viper strike. And I love the idea, I talk about it here in a minute, of it being similar to like a kingfisher, where it can extend its neck and move back and forth. All right, and we are all done with this creature design, and I really like this one. I don't know like if it's too early to call it, but I feel each time I do one of these in this mini series, it's like my new favorite. This is again my new favorite. Who knows what the fourth one's gonna be like, but at least for this, like, I absolutely adore it. I think the really bright colors are really awesome. It just feels so much like a cool tropical bird. And then just having the aspect of the shiny bits from The piranha just add like another little shimmer cool dimension to it. I'm over the moon, and I'm having a very hard time describing how much I like this one. I think the colors work super well. I think this is a really just cool creature to look at, and I had a lot of fun doing the extra exploratory sketches, especially like showing the neck fully extended. I kind of picture this kind of like a kingfisher, or like any of the, I don't know what type of birds those are called, but whenever I think of the like those type of birds, they have like the neck that goes like into their shoulders almost, and then it expands out if they're diving in for a fish. I have that same idea with this, even though it's more of like a vulture, but it works with the viper aspect of it. So yeah, I absolutely love this. I think it's super dope, and I had a blast creating this creature. So if you guys have ideas for our final scavenger, I would love to see it down in the comments below. Give me some ideas of what you're thinking, maybe some animals that we could also incorporate into this other scavenger, and I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about this series as well. Also, if you guys are on Twitter or Instagram or any of the socials, if you want to take a stab at these and like take my original animals that I picked for these and combine them yourself into something else, please tag me. I love seeing those. I love seeing your guys' ideas and creations based off of the animals I picked, because the possibilities are endless with these creatures. Like, anyone can make a million different creatures based off of a few animals. So I'd love to see what you guys make. Tag me at KMcCaigue on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the things, TikTok. I'd love to see what you guys are making. But anyway, thank you guys again so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you're liking this series, and all those YouTube things, the bell, all that stuff. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.